Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about pizza, how to make your own crust, how to make your own sauce, and I don't even have to tell you how to enjoy it because you already know how to do that. Hi, I'm Annette Reeder from the biblicalnutritionist.com, and today I can't believe I haven't had this video before because pizza is what I've been making every Friday night almost since I got married. Yes, it's just the go-to. Do you ever get bogged down with what's for dinner? Well, I know I almost hate that question. What's for dinner? Especially if I don't know what I'm going to have. And so Friday night is just a given. It's pizza night. Saturday lunch is always salmon patties. So that's 2 meals out of the week that are always a given. Oh, I could add in Sunday dinner in the evening, supper time. That's just popcorn. So we have 3 meals that are givens, all right? So let me share with you how to make your own pizza crust and how you can make it special, how you can enliven it. So if your family ever eats out again for buying pizza, they're going to say, wow, this just doesn't taste like yours. Well, we're going to learn some secrets today. Now the recipe is from my Healthy Treasures cookbook. I use this cookbook all the time, which is why it doesn't look fresh and clean. I make notes in it. I just keep, oh, this was good, I added this was good, or I'll write, oh, so-and-so didn't like this. So we're going to start with our liquid. We want 1.5 cups of liquid, and I've got just a little bit more than that, so I'm not going to pour all of this out. You may say, Annette, that is the ugliest water ever. It is, because it's one of my secret ingredients. You can use broth. You can use a vegetable broth, a chicken broth, turkey broth, beef broth for your pizza crust. Now, beef seems a little weird, but definitely a chicken broth or a vegetable broth, and that is going to add an immense flavor to your crust. To that, I'm going to add our yeast, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and then I'm going to just whisk that up. Now, you might have seen I've already added 1 egg. To this, I'm going to add our salt. We also added a little bit of sucanat. My husband kind of grew up with Papa John's because they had a sweet crust. And so he likes a sweet crust. Well, he likes a sweet everything, even a sweet wife. He gets that about 75% of the time. And so I throw in a little bit of sucanat. To this, I've also added in some garlic. Fresh garlic mince would be really good. Instead, I am using, actually, I didn't put that in. I am using my dehydrated garlic. I'm just going to sprinkle some of that in. There we go. And we also, you could put some Italian seasoning. You could put fresh herbs in here. Boy, that would be good. And anything else that your family enjoys. So I also actually have some freshly minced oregano straight out of my garden. And that's going to add just a little bit of green flecks throughout the dough, which to me makes it look so professional. Now we're going to go ahead and add 4 cups of flour. I have it measured out, but I'm not going to put it all in because sometimes depending on my liquid measurements, they may vary. So I may need a little bit more flour or a little bit less. I am really enjoying this Fisky. It is really stirring fast. I think I have found my new favorite tool in the kitchen. Okay. Now, when you use a broth for your sauce, make sure if it is homemade broth, which I hope it is, none of that store-bought stuff. When you do, make sure you heat it up to boiling before you use it. You're going to need to let it cool just a little bit before you add it to the bread. But because it is homemade, you want to make sure there's no bacteria that has grown in it since you processed it. All right, so I'm going to move this onto my counter so I can start kneading it. As I said, this is our Friday night meal, and it's what my family looks forward to, especially my husband, because he knows he can count on it. He doesn't have to say, what's for dinner? And then wonder anxiously what I'm going to say. Sometimes I say, oh, we're having a heart-healthy meal, to which he usually says, that means we're having fish. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and knead this. I could easily put this in my Bosch mixer and just let it mix it and knead it really quick, and there's great times for that. If you've watched my challah bread video, you can understand a little bit more too about kneading bread and how to pray for others while you're doing that. Okay, so this is starting to come together. I just want a nice soft dough. Then I have two things for you. If sometimes I'm just in a hurry, I just need dinner on the table quick as possible, so I don't always let this rise. But if you do let it rise, you have a lighter, fluffier piece of bread. So if you're in a hurry, just flatten it out, make your pizza, pop it in the oven, and go. But since we have a little bit of time today, I'm going to let this rise a little bit. Put it back in this bowl, and I'm just going to cover it with a towel. And I don't have a lot of time, so if you have plenty of time, make this in the morning. Let it rise, throughout the morning, and then you can shape it and make your pizza, and then you could bake it in the evening when you're ready for dinner. That's if you have a great day to plan that out. I'm just going to let this rise about 10-15 minutes, let all those ingredients start to work, and then we'll shape our pizza. While our pizza dough is rising and getting all of those flavors connected really well, we're going to go ahead and make our pizza sauce. This is another recipe that I've been making since pretty much when I got married. Yes, you can definitely just use some organic marinara sauce and make your pizza fast, but sometimes you may not have the sauce. That's what I want you to get out of today's videos. These are ingredients you should always have on hand, so you can always throw together a pizza. So we're going to go ahead and use the recipe on page 104, again, from my cookbook, Healthy Treasures Cookbook. You can get it on Amazon, my websites. Actually, if you buy it on my website right now, you'll get a free free Fisky. I will get it outright. So we're going to add tomato sauce with tomato paste. Now I will buy tomato sauce and tomato paste in the non-BPA lining cans by the case, and that way I always have it on hand. I can always make a dish no matter what's going on in life. They're just staples in my pantry. Let me blend these up real well. To this, the flavoring is up to you. Now I'm going to be making some other videos in the near future where we can add the cauliflower to the crust and some other surprises to the crust and to the sauce. So I could add dehydrated vegetables, dehydrated fruits. I could add some fiber, some seed fiber to this. No limit until your family says that's enough. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my seasonings, which is going to include just a little bit of sucanat, some salt, and some of my dried oregano. Mix that up really well. And I'm just going to do a spritz of pepper. My family is not a pepper fan, so they think, yet they get pepper in almost all their foods. Once again, I'm going to add some of my dehydrated garlic that I grew in my garden and then dehydrated. All right, we have a great sauce. Now this is perfectly fine as is. The recipe does call for a little bit of olive oil. So if you want to add some, it's just going to kind of add a little bit of just creaminess to the sauce. But if you think, I don't need any extra fat in my diet, then leave it out. And there's nothing wrong with that as well. Okay, we have a delicious sauce ready to go. Much less expensive than if I'd have bought the jar. So yeah. These ingredients I always have on hand. It's almost like I'm getting a meal almost for free. So probably I would say definitely under 75 cents to make this sauce. So it's definitely worth having ingredients on hand. Our sauce is ready. Let me go check the dough and we'll put it all together. Okay, welcome back. I have enough dough for 2 pizzas, so I have half of it here. I'm going to roll this out. I've put a little bit of oil on my pan to make it so it doesn't stick. Now, I will tell you, I'm using a stainless steel pizza pan today. My favorite pan is the stoneware. That just makes the most crispy crust and everything. So if you wonder why I'm not using it today, it's because after 10 years, I actually broke it, and I still need to get that replaced. But this is my backup pan. A stainless steel does work well. To make a really good crust, you would actually make your pans hot before you put the crust on it. In that case, I would roll out my crust, and then I would, so that I don't have to roll it out on a hot surface, and then I would take it off and let my let my pan warm up in the oven about 5-7 minutes, so it's nice and hot, and that makes an even more delicious crust. So if you don't have one of these rolling pins, you need to get one. I use this all the time. I use my dough scraper all the time, especially just now as I divided up the dough. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our sauce on. And I am making 2 pizzas today. The first one is going to be sausage, just plain old sausage pizza. I use a turkey sausage, an organic turkey sausage that I get from the store. Sometimes I'm buying from farmers, but today I didn't have a farmer with some supply, so I ended up having to get it from the grocery store. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sausage on, and this is the way my husband likes his pizza, and since he is the one who gets to eat the benefit of these videos, I have to make sure it's something he's going to like. When I make some of my videos, yeah, that's definitely not a food he will eat. So I know I'm going to be giving it away if it's too much for me to eat in a short amount of time. Top it off with some of my favorite cheeses. Always, when you shred the cheese yourself, you're saving yourself a lot of additives, because whenever you buy shredded cheese, pre-shredded, you're going to have a lot of additives to prevent it from caking. Okay, we have our pizza. It is ready to go in the oven, and we're going to bake it at about let's see what our recipe says. We're going to bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes, and it's going to be delicious. So let's see how it turns out. Oh, if you could smell my kitchen right now, you would want to dive right into this pizza. Yum, it's delicious. I can guarantee it because I've been making it for 20 years. Definitely, I don't want my family to ever want to call out and order pizza. I want them to say, hey, let's make some pizza. Grab your family, grab your friends, just have a fun pizza making experience. We don't need to pay for expensive entertainment when we can just play in the kitchen. Don't forget to grab my Healthy Treasures cookbook. You can get it on all of the outsources that are out there. It is always my joy to share with you God's recipe for excellent health. And when I know what ingredients are in my pizza, I know what I'm feeding my family. And there's no lab experiments included. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it. We have a lot to teach you. And when you comment down below, I am the one who sees those comments and replies to you. So let's start a conversation. Tell me, what's your favorite topping on your pizza? I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist. Hello, I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist, and I'm excited to personally invite you to our Biblical Wellness Retreat, October 3rd through the 5th. In 3 John, it says, I pray you may prosper and be in good health. Well, today's families are struggling with cancer, diabetes, autoimmune issues, viruses, learning issues, infertility, and so much more. Where is the answer to being in good health? In John 15:16, it says these words, whatever you ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. I know you're praying for answers, and I know you're praying for health. Well, my team and I are here to help you see the answers that God has given. The foods that help the body to heal, the design of the cells, and why different foods bring healing and other foods do not. We even have Dr. Jay Hitson coming to share about the inside view of the blood and why that matters so much in our body when we're healthy and when we're not. All of this is to bring you answers that you're praying for at a retreat so you can have fun, you can learn, you can spend time praying, but also we always have fun, food, and fellowship. When you're ready to reclaim your health, join us at the Biblical Wellness Retreat this October 3rd through the 5th, and we have very limited seats, so please don't delay. Click the link down below.